Hello 5SCM and welcome to Chapter 9, The Night of the Turtles. Just to remind you, and you can see from this picture, a feature of what has happened. Michael has decided, even though he felt like he was betraying Kenzuki, who thinks that Michael is now part of his family, he sent a message in a bottle from the end of the island, hoping that it would get to Fareham, England, and tell his parents that he was alive and well on an island somewhere, and to come and find him. Unfortunately, that has come back via Stella, and Kenzuki has just, the kind of penny has dropped for Kenzuki that Michael is still trying to get off the island. So let's start with Chapter 9, The Night of the Turtles. There fell between us a long and aching silence. Kenzuki never once reproached me for what I had done. He was not angry or sullen with me, but I knew I had hurt him to the soul. It wasn't that we didn't speak, we did, but we no longer talked to one another as we had before. We lived, each of us, in our separate cocoons, quite civil, always polite, but not together anymore. He had closed in on himself and wrapped himself in his thoughts. The warmth had gone from his eyes, the laughter in the cave house was silenced. He never said so, he did not need to, but I knew that now he would prefer to paint alone, to fish alone, to be alone. So, day after day, I wandered the island with Stella, hoping when I returned that he might have forgiven me, that we could be friends again. But always he kept that distance between us. I grieved for my lost friendship. I remember I went often now to the other end of the island to watch Hill, and sat there, no longer looking out for ships, but rehearsing aloud my explanation. But no matter how much I rehearsed it, how I reasoned it, I could never convince even myself that what I'd done was anything other than treachery. Treachery means betrayal, it means kind of doing something wrong against somebody. In the end, as it turned out, it was Kenzuki who explained it to me. We'd just gone to bed one night when Tomodachi came to the mouth of the cave and squatted there. She had done this once or twice lately, stayed for a few minutes, peered in at us, and gone off again. Kenzuki spoke up in the darkness. "She lose Kikanbo again," he said. "She always lose her baby. Kikanbo very wicked baby. He run off a lot. He make Tomodachi very sad mother." He clapped his hands at her, shooing her away. "Kikanbo not here, Tomodachi, not here." But Tomodachi stayed, I think for comfort more than anything else. I'd noticed before with the orangutans how they would often come to Kenzuki when they were upset or frightened, just to be near him. After a while, Tomodachi slunk off into the night and left us alone again, with the din of the forest and the silence between us. "I think many thoughts," Kenzuki said suddenly out of the silence. "You are sleeping, Maika-san?" He had not called me by my name for weeks, ever since the Coke bottle incident. "No," I said. "Very good. I got lot to say, you listen. I talk. I think many thoughts. When I think of Tomodachi, I think of your mother. Your mother, she too lose her baby. She lose you. That very sad thing for her. Maybe she come looking and not find you. You not there when she come. She think you dead forever. But she see you in her mind. Now, as I speak, maybe she see you in her mind. You always there, I know. I have son too. I have Michiya. He always in my head. Like Kimi. They dead for sure, but they in my head. They in my head forever." For a long while he didn't say another word. I thought he'd gone to sleep. Then he spoke again. "I tell you everything, I think, Maika-san. It best way. I stay on this island because I want stay on this island. I do not want go home Japan. Different thing for you. You won't go back home across the sea, and that right thing, good thing for you, but not good for me. For me, very sad thing. Many years I live alone here, I happy here. Then you come. I hate you when you first come, but after, little while, you are like son to me. I think maybe I like father to you, you like son to me. I'm very sad now when you go. I like talk with you, I like listen. I like sound when you speak. I want you stay here on this island, you understand? I think so, I said. But you do one very bad thing. We friends, but you not tell me what you feel. You not say what you do. That not honourable thing to do. When I find bottle, when I read words, a very sad person, indeed. But after little while I understand. I think maybe you want stay here with me, and you want also go home. So, when you find bottle, you write message. You do not say what you do because you know it make me sad. I write, yes? Yes, I said. You very young person, Maika-san. You paint good picture, very good picture, like Hokusai. You have long life waiting for you. You cannot live whole life on this island with old man who die one day. So thinking like this, I changed my mind. You know what we do tomorrow? He didn't wait for me to answer. We start build new fire, big fire. We ready then for when we see ship. Then you go home. And also we do another thing. We play football. You, me. What you say? All right. It was all I could say. He had, in just those few moments, lifted the whole weight of guilt off my shoulders and given me such happiness, such new hope. Very good, very good. You sleep now. We do lot of work tomorrow, lot of football also. The next morning we began building a beacon on the hilltop above the cave house. We used most of the pile of firewood we had collected for cooking fire and stored in the dry at the back of the cave. He even sacrificed some of his best pieces of driftwood. It wasn't far to carry it, so before long we had enough to make a sizable fire. Kenzuki said it would do for the moment, that we could find more from the forest, more and more each day as we wanted. We soon have fire so big they see in Japan maybe, he laughed. We have lunch now, then sleep, then football, yes? Later that afternoon, we set up sticks in the sand for a goal and took turns at shooting at each other. The ball was very soft, and so it didn't bounce any better on the sand than it had back on the mud of the recreation ground back home, but it didn't matter. Kenzuki may have carried a stick. He may have been as old as the hills, but he could kick a football well enough to put it past me, and often too. What a time we had. Neither of us wanted it to end. With a crowd of bemused orangutans looking on, with Stella interfering and chasing after every goal scored. We were at it till darkness drove us back up the hill. We were both too tired to do more than have a long drink of water, eat a banana or two, and go to our sleeping mats. At 5 STM, that's where we're going to stop for today. Another instalment tomorrow.